from the roots of Greene County, your favorite sports writer, sports content creator, the face of Neuse Sport, and the host of Trey Scott Sports Show, Trey Scott!
Welcome to the show, guys. Welcome to the show. There we go. Welcome to the show. Episode 2, we're back. We got past episode 1, now we got to give you another one. We're going to build brick by brick, baby, brick by brick. We're building something here. I got with me my co-host, chilling co-host. He is lucky he did good enough his first episode. He's back, Chaparral Pitt. Also with me, I got another coach on the sideline or on the couch, however you want us to call it. J.H. Rose, head coach, Coach Will Bland. Coach, thanks for coming.
I appreciate you having me over here.
No problem, man. We're going to get into it, but I got a couple things to shoot out. First off, big shout out to our sponsor. This show is brought to you by TieBreakers Sports Bar. Couldn't done it without them. That's our title sponsors. They support everything we do. We got a bunch of other sponsors as well. San Juan, El Nuevo Mexican Restaurant, as well as Kristen Goyette with Success Mortgage Partners. Thank you to all of our sponsors. The show's not possible without our money. Got to get our money. So let's go ahead and jump into it. I got something to talk about first. My guy right here showed his butt out. ECU baseball balled out this past weekend, but the season ended. They went in. They defeated Tennessee in extra innings. They went to UNC. They had them on the ropes, couldn't pull it out. Then they whooped VCU 10-0. Had a chance to win it all to face UNC again, but UNC was too much, too overpowering. But let's talk about my guy. Branden Burress was insane. He was on fire. Let's look at these stats. He was 10 for 18 on the weekend. 8 runs, 2 RBIs, 3 walks, 1 stolen bases, two doubles. This season, he finished .361 in batting average, 72 runs, 90 hits, 4 triples. It's not on?
I can't hear anything on the screen. You got Branden up, but I'm not hearing anything.
Okay. Mic check. Can y'all guys hear me? A little technical difficulties. Sorry about that. I got you. 1 second.
Operation shutdown. Yeah, you pulled up the picture and it just cut completely out.
All right, I should be good now. We're good now. Sorry about that. Let me pull that back up. Branden Burress had a great night. He had a great weekend. I was on a roll. Let me get back going. He was 10 for 18, had 8 runs, 2 RBIs, 3 walks, 1 stolen bases, two doubles. He is leading the team in batting average with .361 batting average, 72 runs, 90 hits, 4 triples, 12 stolen bases, and he's third in doubles with 13. Sorry for the technical difficulties. You know we love Branden Burress around here. Let's go ahead and get into our guest. Let me introduce our guy. Get his overlay up. Coach Will Bland. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing pretty good. Appreciate you having me all the way down here in North County.
6 year at 6. I'm going to talk about what I know. 6 year at J.H. Rose. Havelock quarterback, superstar, whatever you want to call it. You played great at Havelock. Went to ECU and played a little bit. But I'm just scratching the surface. Tell me about you. Yeah, it's not working at all, Danny. All right, I got it on. All right, guys. Try this third time's a charm. I got my mic working, I hope. I got Coach Will Bland with me from J.H. Rose. He's in his he has done 6 years at J.H. Rose, as well as he's from Havelock, played quarterback at Havelock. He went to ECU, played at ECU. Coach, I barely can give you the introduction you deserve. Let's talk about you. Who are you? What made you? Where'd you come from? You know, talk to me.
Well, first, my parents, we named after my dad and my mom, Lula. I have 4 brothers, 1 sister. We had a big family growing up. My dad was in the military, so, we travel a lot. I lived in Jacksonville, North Carolina, lived in Havelock, because that's where the 2 bases are at.
Yeah.
Had the fortune to live in Georgia, had another base, Albany. Then was blessed to get to go overseas to open out of Japan before I finally ended up in Havelock. So, my time over there was pretty good. I really enjoyed being able to see the world a little bit. But my whole family competitive. I think all the boys played sports. My sister could have played sports if she wanted to. She's just that much into it. Learned from my dad. My dad was a great basketball player in his own right. But I wanted to take after something different. I just fell in love with the game of football when I was about 5 years old. So I started playing when I was 6. 6 years old. Started out, and then that's when I found out I was pretty good at it. I was a lot bigger than a lot of people, and I was a lot better than a lot of people as well. So I just grew on me. Like I said, my favorite football team growing up was 49ers. I loved watching Jerry Rice,
Steve Young, baby.
Steve Young, all the boys go out there and do it. So I just wanted to try to get myself to the next level. And then I was fortunate enough to end up in Havelock when I was a 9th grader. Didn't play my freshman year due to the fact that I came over real late, but I was able to play my sophomore, junior, and senior year at Havelock. And I thought we did good. After starting quarterback, I only lost 5 games starting over there. Played with some great guys, Chris Moore, Guy Wimper, Robin McGovern, some of them big old guys that protected me on the offensive line. I was an option type guy out there. We ran the wishbone. So we ran the ball all the time, but I was able to throw the ball a little bit, and made a little name for myself in Havelock, and then got very fortunate to get seen by ECU.
Let's stop there. I got some questions on your Havelock days. I got questions before your Havelock days.
All right.
When were you in Japan? What age?
13, I think.
13? Oh, that's okay. Great. How long?
So 3 years.
So tell me about the sports culture there. What did you do? What did you train? What did you play? You play baseball over there?
So over there is basically, so we live in Okinawa. Okinawa is like a military base where a lot of the armed forces are at. So a lot of times we played against the armies, the navies, the air force. Play, and kind of like what it was down here, like Pop Warner. It's just, hey, we got our guys versus the Air Force. It's a competition between them. It's out there. So I played for a Pop Warner team. I played running back, actually. I played running back for the first couple of years, then I transitioned to quarterback. And before I moved over here, my first year in high school, I was going to be the starting quarterback for one of the Cooper High School teams. But then we got stationed back into the United States, so then I had to wait. And I got in Havelock and started playing quarterback at Havelock.
How many brothers, sisters? I know of one. I don't know if any more than that. But is it what's your brother's name?
So Emmanuel is the young one. You probably know.
Okay.
But I have 4. I got my oldest brother is TJ. He deaf. He got his disease meningitis when he was young, so he's totally deaf. Then I had my second oldest brother is Carlos. He played football at Havelock for a while too. And then it's me, and then there's one that looked just like me named Chris. So they always confuse us as twins and stuff, but he was probably the better one after I was. And then Emmanuel is the one you probably know about, was the youngest. And then my sister falls in at number 5.
She falls in there, huh?
Yeah.
All right, let me tell you this story. All right, I'm from Green Central. I was, as any good player, you're really good on varsity. I was really good my freshman year on varsity. Really good. I mean, I was really good my freshman year on JV. I had a good season. I was getting ready to go into my sophomore year with all my guys, and we had like all the sophomores. We were going to be really good. Jamboree, the starting safety, breaks both his ankles. So I get moved up to varsity. Didn't want to go. Didn't want to play with because I want to play with my guys. You know what I'm saying? Didn't want to go. And for our first game, our endowment game is against Havelock. Okay. And this is not the game we talked about earlier. This is my sophomore year. It was against Havelock, and I'm playing corner actually. And my other safety, he's my age too. And Chris Moore, if you don't know who Chris Moore is, Chris Moore was the middle linebacker and the starting running back. and he was a athletic freak. He looked like Eddie George back there. Is that a good comparison?
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit bigger though.
Big old head.
And all I remember is him going up the middle and my teammate, which was the same age as me, trying to tackle him low, and it didn't end well. Chris ran him over and didn't keep going and just stood over him and yelled at him. I said, uh-oh. Go on. 10 years later, Chris Moore's an all conference linebacker at ECU. He's a great player. Now he coaches at Havelock as well. But that was my welcome to Havelock moment. And then the next year, I played against Coach Bland. He didn't know this, at Green Central. And we lost 35-7. We ain't gonna talk about that. But yeah, and he's a great dude, great quarterback. I love what you did on the field, Coach. How important was those years for Havelock for you? How much did you build there? Considering that you did move around a lot, how was the brotherhood there?
It was pretty good because, again, like, even though we moved a lot around, I ended up with some of the guys that I knew in overseas and where I was. So I met back up with some of them. But being able to get with Chris Moore and Guy Wimper and Tim Keys, one of my real good friends, Wendell Wise, the camaraderie there, it's just, they brought me in as a family. It's like, hey, now you're here. My dad retired at that point, so I wasn't going nowhere else. So they took me in, and we just had some unbelievable season under Coach Wilbur Sasser.
How did you make that connection to ECU? How did you get to ECU? How did that connection work? How did that relationship start?
So I actually played against, I think it was my senior year, and we were about to go into the playoff, and we played against Greenwood Rose, actually. And we played against them, and they had Andre Brown.
Yep.
Yeah, so we came in there. We were pretty good. We lost to New Bern on the game, but we had beat the only undefeated team in that conference at that time was Northern Nash. And we came in, and me and my brother actually had a pretty good game. I had some highlights, some big throws, some big plays out there. And then the offensive coordinator came up to me after the game and asked me if I want to play football. First of all, I didn't know where ECU was because I was like, where ECU at? I was going to Florida State. Right. Going to Florida. I don't know what they're talking about. But I was very lucky to meet with Coach Logan. When I came up for my physical visit, he talked to me. He explained to me what my role was going to be at in the offense and stuff. And the rest is history now. I should have changed my position and went to DB. I probably would have been in the league by now. But I wanted the ball in my hand because that's all I knew. Right. So when I got out there, I played. He gave me 2 days to be a quarterback before I got moved to wide receiver. And then my time at ECU was some wishy-washy a little bit, but I had some great times there. I wouldn't change it for the world. I can say I caught 2 touchdown passes. Both of them was over 58 yards. So a lot of people don't even get a chance to score touchdowns in there. We played with some great guys. Was able to see CJ, Dwayne Harris, CJ Wilson, another one of my good friends, grow and prosper. So that's some of the things I took with me, and I knew that if I can get my education, I can do some good things if I go out there and help the young community.
So I made my calls on you. I searched around. I looked for dirt. I looked for tricky questions. I really dug in, and I didn't get nothing. Terrence Carper, I talked to him, and Terrence said, you were a sponge. You were a great athlete. You came in ready to learn, and you wanted to learn, and you did whatever it took to get in there.
Oh, yeah, it was. So with Terrence, I remember Terrence, he's a senior when I was a freshman, and I was behind him. And we was out there one of them hot days practice. I think one of them 2 days, and Terrence was running the routes, and I was up next, and I couldn't remember the plays and got in trouble, and they kicked me out. And Terrence had to run all the routes, and he just came up to me, and he gave me an ear. I ain't gonna tell you what he said, but he gave me an earful, and that's when I was like, hey, I gotta take this serious because if you want to play up to this level, you gotta make sure you know what you gotta do. So I learned a lot from him. I've talked to him now. He's one of my guys that I can call and give advice to. So I really do enjoy him. I enjoy watching his son play over the years, and look forward to keeping our communication open with him.
Absolutely. Let's talk about your coaching career. Where did that start? How long's it been? I'm pretty sure you got some years under your belt now. We're the same age, so I ain't gonna tell you age, but.
So it's funny. So I figure out, and a lot of kids these days, you got to be able to figure out what's your future hold. And when I was, I think I got hurt my junior year again, and then I kind of figured out that, hey, the NFL is not going to be where I will end up. So I had to make sure I got everything I needed from ECU to be able to move on. So I made sure I got my diploma from East Carolina. And then in '07, I think I graduated in '07. In '07, I started being a substitute teacher down in Farmville Central. I used it, so I coached. Yeah, I coached. Yeah, Jaguar. I coached under Dixon Saw, the late Dixon Saw, and that's when I started my coaching career. And I was coaching wide receiver, and back then they didn't even throw the ball; they ran the ball. So I don't know why I was coaching wide receiver, but I did wide receivers and DBs. It taught me a lot. It taught me how to talk to the kids. I was young then, so I was able to relate to the kids and stuff, which I take now. I'm being able to relate to our guys. Because some of these guys that we have out there don't have father figures and stuff. So try to be able to relate to them, try to mentor them to make sure they're the best guy they can be. So started there, and then my job got cut, and then I went from Farmville Central to coaching that Rose, where I've been there ever since '08.
Okay, cool. I did not know that. Now it's time to talk about Rose. Well, before I even want to talk about that, did you is this where you wanted to be? Did you always want, I ain't gonna say always, but when you started your journey at Farmville Central, is this where you wanted to be? Not necessarily Rose, but you wanted to be a head coach, you wanted to be leading a team, you wanted to be developing players and kids?
Well, I think when I started, it's just me didn't want to miss the game. I love the game so much, and then having it, being taken away. I think I did 2 years of semi-pro, and then just like, all right, well, I still want to be a part. I was getting older, they wasn't in the league, so they wasn't paying me. So, if I would have went out there and semi-pro and got hurt, then that bill I got to take on. So, I was like, hey, how can I stay close to the game and protect myself, and then eventually be able to protect my family where I'm making money and supporting them? And that was coaching. And then, so probably about year 4, then I started thinking about, hey, okay, all right, well, how do I keep moving up the ladder? And, I was under some great coaches. Coach Todd Lott, he brought me on. I've been with him. Coach Dave Witteggy, he brought me, kept me on staff when we had to transition over to a new coach. And then finally I got the opportunity to be able to man the ship.
And you're doing a pretty good job. Off the rip, you went 6-1. COVID season was your first year?
Yeah, COVID season. It was a wild season.
6-1, then 11-5, then 9-3, then 6-7, 5-9, and 6-6. And you told me on the phone, Coach, we're about to have a good year. Well, you said Trey. You said Trey, we're about to have a good year. How excited are you to kick off this season?
I'm very excited. I thought the guys we have in place, the pieces we got now, been with us for this at least 2 or 3 years, and I think they're ready to turn over a new leaf. These guys have worked their butt off. You don't have to look for them to get at practice. They all at practice. They want to get better, and they want to go out there and try to support our community and bring back a state championship to Greenville.
So this first slide I got up, I got your rivals, or I'm going to say J.H. Rose's rivals, and your record against them so far. We're talking about 4-2 against Conley, 6-0 against South Central, 3-3 against New Bern. How has that been, those games, particularly with those schools? How has the emotions been with those games? Has the kids got up for them? Is it a rivalry that you had to get up for, or you already knew what it was?
Being part of Rose from '08, you knew the rivalries that they had, especially the big ones is Conley. And Conley, most people know that me and Nate, we're real good friends and stuff. And, we go out there, we're going to coach our butts off against each other and stuff. But it's for the kids, you got to make sure you hone their emotion, because you don't want your kids to get up too much, or you don't want them to get down real low, because then that affects the outcome of the game. And I thought the last 2 years where we lost, I think I didn't do a good job of managing our guys' emotions playing that big game. And then, last year we got moved to now it's the end of the season. So now you got, on top of that, you got to play Conley, and then you got to get ready for a playoff game. So we're going into the season. We've got to make sure our guys can manage all that, make sure we can manage the emotion and do what we're supposed to do in the game to have a better outcome. For South Central, South Central is a school right around the corner. Unfortunately, they have been through a couple turnover coaching and stuff. But, again, it's the guys, they played against them guys, and I'm very blessed to be able to come on the outcome of the last 6 games of beating them and stuff. But it's gonna still take a lot of hard work to keep beating them guys because I said before, South Central had great athletes over there. They got some kids that can play. So we got to just make sure we do what we have to do now in the off season in order to win and when the season starts. And then New Bern's always tough. You don't know what you're gonna get with them. And I've just been blessed to get 3 wins off of them.
Do you have a plan when you do your non-conference schedule, far as you want to get teams to prepare you for beyond the conference?
Yeah, and I probably get beat up all the time when I put people up there. But I don't try to get easier teams that we can beat. I try to go out there and get teams that will push us and stuff. And a lot of times we play against teams like Northern Nav. We play against teams like Havelock or Northeastern. They're pretty good.
Mallet Creek.
Mallet Creek.
Not Mallet Creek. No, Middle Creek. Middle Creek. Not Mallet Creek. Middle Creek.
Yeah. Well, what they do, and that's just help. We played against Hogger too. They went. So, I want to see where our guys are. And I think it actually benefits us, especially the year that we was went 2-8. And a lot of people don't know that we played against some teams that every team that we played against that year went into the state playoff. And we were down, but the kids stayed focused. A lot of backlash a little bit, because at JS Pro, it's an expectation that you're gonna win. You're gonna win now, and 2-8 is not what we expected, but we was able to turn things around in the playoff with the belief in our community, the belief in the players and stuff, that we were able to make a historical run and make it all the way to the 4th round.
Talk about that backlash. How? Tell me the lows. Like, you ain't got to give me the details, but how bad did it get?
Well, I think it was pretty bad as far as for me out there, because you work so hard to bring in a good program to put the kids in the right place, and some of them games that we only lost by a touchdown, but it wasn't what the community expected. It wasn't what I expected from our guys to be 2-8, and trying to control 14, 15, 16-year-old kids and try to maintain that emotion when they're losing, because nobody likes to lose. You're 2-8, you're like, all right, well, this ain't how the season was. I can fold 10 and we can just close out. But them kids didn't do it. That's a testament to what our coaches talk to them, a testament to their parents just holding on, because a lot of times it can go bad. They can tell you that, hey, I'm gonna take my kid away, move your kid away, but they came out and we knocked out 3 of the top schools in North Carolina all the way up to the 4th round. So I was very proud of them, and I think that has carried over to last year, went 6-6, and this year I think finally we'll be able to get over that hump.
Oh, and this is another question before we start breaking down the team. I'm from a school like Farmville Central. I'm from, and that's mostly the schools I covered, those small tier schools, 2A, 3A, 4A, somewhere around there. What was the biggest difference that you saw leaving Farmville going to Rose? Is it you just got way more kids, or is it more money? Obvious stuff, But what's the biggest difference going from a 2A program to like a 6A, or it's 2A to 4A, or whatever it is? I
think the biggest difference is location of where the school at, and that's the biggest part. So when in Farmville is on the outskirts of Pitt County, and it takes a while to get the kids wrangled up. Where Greenville, Jay's Rose is sitting right in the middle of Greenville, and it's easy for our kids to get to Rose. You can catch a bus, you can catch some of your friends, but most of the time I normally have about 112 kids on the program that come out there and play football. North Pitt, Farmville, they normally get around 67, but so I'm so blessed in being able to get guys to come out there. And, the transportation is a big issue for them. So, in being inner school, most kids don't stay but maybe 5-7 miles away, but I can go swing, grab them, or we can get carpool, or they can get somebody they know, they can get them there, and that's what's blessing. The tradition is what makes Rose so good, because traditionally we're a good school in all sports, especially football and baseball and basketball. So, if the kids can come here, eventually they get the opportunity to play in the next level.
That's a good point you made, because and I always, for years, I've been saying, schools that's on the outskirts, so North stuff, when kids can't get there on their own, a lot of parents are not going to get up and get rides from it this level. They can't ride a bike to it. And it's kind of different like in Kingston, when you're riding in town where kids can easily get a ride and stuff. It's hard to sustain a winning culture when the kids can't get their police themselves.
You're right, yep. And that's the biggest thing I've seen from going from Farmville, seeing the North Pitts and the Aiden Griffin group. The coaches do a great job with the kids. They're able to get out there, but I don't have a lot of that issue of making sure, hey, guys, we got practice at 4 o'clock this evening. If I change it up and go, hey, we're going to go at noon, we're still going to get most of them guys there because of the proximity we are.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that answer. That's good. That's a great point. Let's talk about your offense. Your offense got a lot coming back. You got your quarterback coming back, Chase Davis. He threw for 1,800 yards, and like you said, in about 8 games, somewhere around there. You got Nine Davis. You got both running backs coming back that combined over 1,900 yards last year. And the man that everybody knows or should know, Jalik Parsons, wide receiver. I think he was up there in yards in the state last year. He got 50 catches, 1,200 yards, 12 touchdowns. Talk about your offensive weapons. I'm sure there's more to talk about, but let's talk about those 4 first.
All right, well, them 4, we went into the season last year knowing that Nine Davis was going to be the starting running back. We just had to just figure out who's going to be the backup. And we knew Javion the year before he played wide receiver for us, but we want to put him back where he was naturally gifted at. He was very familiar with running the ball, so we decided to let him be back at running back. And, I think he shocked everybody the first scrimmage when he did some stuff against Northeastern in the first scrimmage. We were like, okay, we might be all right with him and Nye back there running the ball. Nye is that guy that when he put his foot in the ground and he decided that he's going upfield, and it's going to take a lot of people to bring him down. Javion is more of an offsetting back that, hey, he gonna make you miss in the phone booth because he ain't gonna take no big shot. You gonna have to, you gonna really have to come in there and be disciplined to tackle Javion. So having both of them back, you never knew which one was on the game. Sometimes we have formation when they both stand in the backfield. Chase, I thought, did a great job. We had 2 good quarterbacks last year. Jimmy got hurt earlier in the season, so it forced Chase to grow up a little bit and come in there and try to be his own. And I thought he did a great job last year of directing our guys as Jimmy tried to get healed up. And I think he finished out the season doing a great job of screaming the ball to some of our playmakers. And you already talked about one, Jalik Parsons. He's a young, dynamic player who you want to get the ball in. And we had ways to give it to him, touching the ball, hand the ball to him. Put lineman back up there, quarterback, let him do wildcat. Our offense is predicated. We do a lot of screens, so we can get the ball in hand with some blockers, and then good things will normally happen when Jalik Parsons gets the ball in hand.
When did you know Jalik Parsons was Jalik Parsons?
His freshman year, and his freshman year, it took me a lot to not bring him up. He was a dynamic player on JV. I think against Northern Nash, in one of his JV games, he had 4 interceptions, 3 took back for touchdowns, had 3 touchdowns in the air. So I was like, whoo.
I didn't know this. Okay.
Yes, he was special when he was a JV kid. But, we knew that we brought him up for our run during the playoff. He was able to see what it takes to make a long playoffs run for us. But, just watching him grow and just knowing that, hey, if you need a big play, all you got to do is just find him. But then also being able to teach him that, hey, every day you can't be Superman the whole time. He's very young. He's emotional. Things don't go his way. He's going to break down. But, and I talk to him like everything can't go your way. At some point, you're going to have bad luck. It's just how do you react to that bad luck? Do you harp on it, or do you go out there and you do something to help your teammates out? And he normally goes out there and changes up his game, and then eventually something good is going to happen with him.
What's your philosophy as far as players playing both sides of the ball?
Well, this year I'll tell you right now, all of them play both sides of the ball.
I always say, look, I don't want to lose with my best player standing beside me on the sideline.
Yeah, and I've been for the last couple of years, I've been always a two platoon guy. We got an offensive guy, we got a defensive guy, but our guys came up to me this year and they're like, Coach, we playing defense. Hey, the best players need to be on the field. So, and that's what they've been doing the whole summer. They've been on both sides of the ball. Jalik actually starts. He starts at the safety. He starts at the wide receiver. Neuse starts at a nickel. He starts at a running back. We also got Casey Chase, who plays our other wide receiver, who starts the free safety for us on the other side. So we got a lot of guys that are playing both ways, and we just got to keep them in shape.
You good?
Okay, and then we
Put your mic up, Shabril.
Oh,
Yeah, you good.
gotcha. And then we just got to keep them in shape. And that's what the summer for is to make sure they're in shape, and get ready for this long season that we anticipate, and I think the guys anticipate it too. So.
I asked you off camera earlier about Tyshawn Bledsoe. Now he's a young super freak. So what's your plans for him? I know you want to get all.
Well, he's again he went out there his JV year and then balled out. Probably had 2,500 yard rushing out there. Our plan is to have him play with us, and he's gonna get his opportunity when his chance comes. But he's gonna be out there with varsity again. He's gonna have to learn how to play a linebacker as well as be a running back. But the game, and the name of the game for varsity is different. It's a little bit faster, but I think he's going to be able to not miss a beat, and I think we're going to see a lot from Tyshawn Bledsoe. But he has to play. He has to be patient. That's a part of being, being in a system where you got great players. That you got to be patient, wait your turn, and then when your opportunity comes, you got to make the most of it.
Tell me about the players, and do they know your legacy? Do they know the Will Bland from Havelock? Does Parson know that he needs to go to you to get some advice on some playmaking ability? Is that connection there yet? I'm pretty sure they definitely know who you are for sure, but how's your relationships with big-time players like Parsons, considering your background as well? And I'm not saying you only coach those guys. I know you coach everybody, but how's your relationship with Parsons, considering that you were a playmaker?
Well, our relationship has been great. I think our relationship with all the guys that make plays out there has been pretty good. I try to stay humble with them guys because, again, I knew how good I was, and, a lot of times Dave was like, oh, you was good back there. Oh, you can't run. And I used to be like, boy, I ran the 4.39 back then. I probably can outrun all y'all. Not no more. I got a new hip. But them guys are just a sponge. They sit, they talk, we laugh. I'll take pride in them being able to pick up a phone and call me and ask for help. And that's one of the things I wanted to be as a coach. Is I didn't want to be one of them coaches that was, hey, you going to do this my way, you going to do it now. I wanted to be one of them guys that was able to, you can pick up a phone, you can call me. If you need help, if you need advice, I can be able to help you out. If I can come out there and grab you or take you from some place that's not safe and put you somewhere where you are safe, then that's the type of guy I want to be. And I think the guys, for the most part, see that I'm willing to take care of them, and that's why I believe that our guys go out here and play their butts off when they go out here on Friday nights. And because not the fact that they're good, but I think the fact that they don't want to disappoint me, and they know how much that we give to them as coaches and as adults. So
let me ask you this question: how do you feel? I don't know if you savvy for us like Instagram and stuff like that, but how do you feel after a tough loss and you read comments from fans? What's your true feelings? People never ask coaches that, so I want to ask you that.
You can't tell me you don't see not. You got to see some of it. You got to see some of it.
And you got to learn. You got to learn a long time ago. You mean like a lot of people. There's people in the stands that they can coach football.
That's the best coaches, and they know everything.
but they're not out there coaching it. And I tell our guys, nobody knows what we do on Monday through Thursday.
Right.
We out there, we work hard. I don't see nobody in the stands or on Instagram or wherever come there and break down film or get a game plan. So for the most, it's the coaches. We get in there, do our job, and then we give it to the players. And I tell the players, hey, don't listen to the outside noise, because there's always gonna be outside noise. Just go do what you've been taught, do what the coaches have expected you, and then your play and your performance on game night will speak for itself. And then all them people that out there like to type on the computers and stuff.
Armchair quarterbacks.
Yeah. So, but I really don't try to let it bother me, because that can affect how you coach.
Right.
And, I don't hear a lot. I have an Instagram account, but most of the time I got one of the coaches that take care of it and stuff. So, I'd say people are gonna say what they are going to say, and that's their opinion.
Right.
You can have your opinion, but at the end of the day, we're gonna see how our product do when we put it out there on Friday night.
Yeah.
Let's flip to the defensive side. Heard through the grapevine you lost your defense coordinator. That true?
Yeah, I think so, but it's still in worse. But yeah,
I should have asked you that beforehand. I'm sorry.
but I think, and he has done a great job for us. But I think he's getting a better opportunity to help him out in a certain situation he is. So but we had two defense coordinators. We had Cole. They both were Cole. We had him, and we had another guy.
Okay.
That was the other defense coordinator, Nigel Simmons. So he'll just be taking over the role.
Okay, so it shouldn't be much. I mean, no disrespect to him, but it should be smooth transition. Let's talk about these defensive players you got, starting with Jordan Bryant, 78 tackles, 10 T4Ls, 4 sacks. Your secondary looks really good. You had 12 interceptions last year as a team. 8 of those interceptions are coming back to play. Kason Chase, Jaleet Parsons, Gavin Valls, how you say it? Gavin Valls, all had 2 interceptions each. You got some returners coming back on defense. Tell me about your defense.
Well, I think it's gonna be a total shock to a lot of teams that we play. Last year, like I said, we were pretty good in the back end of our defense. I thought our run game, we gave up a lot in the run game that we had to shore up. I think some of our big guys like Jalen Webb, count on him a little bit on the line. We're going to a forefront. We ran a lot of 3 odd front last year, but I think we're going to put another big guy down there to help us out to stop the run. But Jaquel Robinson, who got hurt the first game, didn't play no more. He was a sophomore last year, but he's coming back. Martese Bradley, who's trying to improve every day. We got some technical stuff that we got to work on, but I think he's going to help us out. And then, the biggest thing we had to replace is our linebackers. We lost our leading linebacker for the last 2 years. He's leaving. So bringing in a guy that you really haven't seen the whole year, but we know that he's real good. Webb Evans, that's going to be a pretty good linebacker for us as well. And then, the back ends is just all the skills guys that play the offense. And so, like I said, they wanted to all play offense and defense, so now they get the opportunity to go out there and play. I think one of the bigger names that we haven't talked about is Ethan Johnson, who's going to be a big help for us because he's able to play that secondary role as well, come down and be that linebacker if we need to go jump into nickel. So I think our defense is going to surprise a lot of people. I think we can go out here and be able to hold teams to under 7, under 14 points, and then let the offense be able to put up at least 42 points a game. That's what I'm trying.
Chaparral brought up about playing two-way players and stuff, and you just mentioned about how pretty much your secondary is two-way players. Not necessarily just for that, but how tough are you on conditioning? Hey, look, when you played, I've coached a lot too. I coached under Jim Bob. I coached under some other people. When we played, we ran a lot. Then the farther it got away from we played, it came more of just helmet, shoulder pads, just helmets, maybe not as much conditioning. Maybe I'm not speaking for your team. Maybe I'm just speaking for what I see. But how is your conditioning? And, we've had to adjust the heat. We had to adjust the hitting. It's different now.
And for us, we always have a trainer out there. The heat's a big issue. Like sometimes you get out there and they tell you that you can't have helmets on. Sometimes they tell you can't have anything on. So you got to be able to adjust that. But for us, our conditioning, we want to be able to run our practice fast. So when we're on offensive practice, we want our guys to be running, moving. And we tell them that, guys, this is part of your conditioning because if you can go out here and you can run on offense and defense for 2 hours, then I don't need to run you to death after practice. But, again, if you can't, then if I need to, then that's what we can. We can line you up on the line. We can run gasser. We can line you on the line. You can do 100. So I want to be able to give them guys the choice to be like, hey, if you go in here and you bust your butt during practice, give everything 100%, then we can not condition or we can take some of the conditioning off. And I think the guys they had fallen in line with it because they go out there, they work their butts off, and then at the end of the day, we don't have the condition because they don't do all this stuff during the practice.
Yeah,
I think that's good because I think that's probably one of the biggest things, and I'm going to say Eastern North Carolina because that's what I see is, like I said, I'm a firm believer in don't go anywhere out of shape.
Right.
Because that goes against the head coach to me 100%. Now, let me ask you this. I feel like I would say the Nick Saban effect. If you're coaching, this a lot you lose a coach, or just say your offensive line is not what it is, do you jump right in there and be a stopgap for that?
Talking about we have one that just
so it's like you got an experienced staff that makes your job a little easier. You might have to make 1 or 2 tough calls. Say you have a young staff and you see, okay, look, we've been getting killed here. I'm gonna get ready to put my hard hat on and get in here,
Right.
and more so put more hands to it. Do you follow that?
Yeah. So I've been blessed to being able to have guys that been with me ever since I started coach, be the head coach. But I do that on the JV level because, you know, we are, you know, you're building your program. So you got to spend a lot of time with them guys. So being able to go down there and tell them, hey, this ain't how this is supposed to work, or we can't yell at our kids like that the whole time. You got to make sure if you're going to yell at them, you got to need to be able to build them back up.
Right.
Never
let them leave
confused. No.
Yeah, that's the philosophy.
And never let them leave with it, like, hey, feeling sorry for themselves.
Right.
At the end of the day, you want the kids to play. If their first time out there, you want them to come back, you want them to keep playing, because that's how your program survive. Hopefully you can build them guys up to help you out when they get to varsity, but you don't want to just stop their dream. You want to be able to let them live their dream how they want to live, and then if it's not for them, then you let them make their own decision if they not come back playing any more football.
Let me ask you one more question. Since you played on multiple levels, if you have a special talent, do you feel like personally, like, I need to push this guy because I know where he can go at more so than the other team?
And you know what? You're probably right. You do need to push him a little bit more, because when I played, I knew I was pretty good, but I had a coach that was always on me too.
Right.
Like, you can't do that. You can't slack out. You the fastest on the team while you the last guy. And I'm always like, hey guys, especially with this league, if you're the best on the team, we can't half-ass it. We gotta make sure we run through the line. we can't jog. You gotta be the leader for these guys. Because guess what? Everybody know you are the face of J's Road, and everybody's looking at that. So everybody got their eye on you. So what are you gonna do? Are you going on a hot day? Are you gonna just do 50%? Or are you gonna go out there and give all you have? And you know what? And I've been blessed being able to watch him and his dad that does a good job with him. That he goes out there and he gives his all every time that he can, and then when the game game situation, practice is supposed to be harder than games. And the game is just having fun. That you going out there and you having fun with your teammate and doing what y'all do best, and that's win game hopefully.
Right. Good job.
All right, it's time for our most messy part of the segment. Let's talk about the transfer portal. Before we talk about your guys you got in, just like we were talking about with conditioning and hitting, same thing with transfers. It's getting different. It's changing gradually. What is the protocol for a coach if an outside player reaches to him and say, hey, I'm thinking about transferring? Can you talk to him at all, or do you got to wait till the paper's done, or what is the process?
That's tough. Speaking so if they come from out of state, out of state guys can call you and like, hey, we want to know how your program running, thinking about moving down here and stuff. In Pitt County, we don't try to talk to any of the guys unless you are at our school.
Gotcha.
So you can hear a lot of rumors, a lot of talk about, hey, these persons come over here from this other school. Unless that paperwork is done in Pitt County, where they're coming here, this is where they're gonna line up, this is where they're going, then you want to try to stay clear of that. It's a little bit harder with the freshmen, the rising freshmen, because again, it's open enrollment, and freshmen can start whatever school they want to start. So you just got to make sure that, hey, their stuff is in the system. If they say they come to you and hey, they district for Conley or district for South Central, you just got to make sure, hey, did he get approved by open enrollment to come here? And then that's the easy step. You just go to your registrar and like, hey, did he get approved? If he got approved to go here, then hey, he can come out there, he can practice.
Considering that it is open enrollment, how do you handle top tier middle school players that's coming to, is there and Coach, I'm definitely not trying to get you in trouble or nothing. Is there a recruiting process, or because you got 6 schools, how many schools in Pitt County, and you got this one kid that's really good coming from wherever. Obviously you keep your eye on them. You got to know what's coming.
Well, that's when your programs help you out, and being successful at Jazz Rose. We get a lot of guys. I thank you to Cornell Powell for being able to be in the NFL, do his thing. He's from Jazz Rose. Andre Brown did his thing. He came from Jazz Rose. So Jazz Rose is probably one of the bigger stops as a kid that sees the Division I colleges come in and stop in to see what we got. And, we have a lot of the NC States, the Clemsons, the UNC, ECU, all them guys coming here to see our guys. Because then, that a lot of times we do get a lot of some of the best athletes that's in this county that come play for us. And, that's just a blessing that the tradition of how good Rose have been. And it's been a blessing for me because I don't have to try to go out there and try to do stuff. I mean, like, the school going to recruit itself, and they're going to do it year in, year out. They're going to do it with their record. They're going to do it with the coaching staff we got out here, and they're going to do it with the other sports. And, that's a big part of it, too. If our other sports are good, then we're going to get some of the best players because they play multiple sports.
Right.
So.
All right, it is blessings, and you've been blessed. Let's look at some of the blessings. I'm going to pull this up right now. Two guys that I know about, might be some more. Shemaiah Cabell. Did I say that right, Coach? Yep. Shemaiah Cabell. I've been following him and his brother. I just like, they tag me on Twitter and all that type of stuff. But he seems like a very hard worker, speedster, always out there grinding on his own. He's had, in 2 years, 101 receptions, 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. We're going to talk about both. Then the other guy is left tackle Beckett Ingles, 6'3", 255, rising junior from Green Central. Talk about those two guys and any other guys that's in the program that's coming on.
Cabell came in I think he got here in January, so he's been part of us for ever since the second half of this school year. He's a dynamic player, and when he came in, I told him that, hey, you know how to play football, you just need to be yourself. Just go out there and play. You ain't got to impress anybody because we done seen you play. You played against us multiple times, and from day one to spring ball, has been out there. He's been working his butt off. Great catch rate is. Great kid to be around. Great skill. He's like a sponge. He learned from everybody. He learned some good things, from us. He learned some good things from Conley. So he's good. He's a great sponge. He's a student of the game. He wants to get better, and I think he's going to help this team, especially as wide receivers out there, get better as well. And then he want to play a little bit of defense, so we actually going to try to put him on defense. Like I told you, they all want to play both ways. So, and then he hasn't been out there with us because he had to finish up at Green Central, but his first day out there was past what else would be January 10th, but he's a big guy, seeing the film, online and stuff. I think he's gonna help us out. We lost a big left tackle in Clarence Gilliam last year. I think he's going to North Carolina A&T for his football career, and so we needed to be able to replace him. And I think this guy would come in and do a great job of replacing Clarence and make sure that our run game don't miss a beat.
I was looking at Cabell's stats last year. Against Rose, he had a game. Did he let the boys know that you can't guard me? When he got there, as the camaraderie, the banter, the talk, has he let the boys know yet that he ate them up?
He don't have to. He does the way he play. I'll tell you what, the team has fell in love with him, and he doesn't go out there. He doesn't tell me, hey, how good I am, or I did this to y'all when we played. He goes out there and he plays football, and he lets his play do the game, and our guys respect that. They had come to love him, and like I said, for everything that he's getting, he had done it by himself with some help from some outside people. But I think he's going to be one that everybody need to watch because he's going to surprise a lot, being that you can't double team Jalik and you can't double team him at the same time. Somebody going to be open.
Yeah. I love it. Last question on Rose, then we'll continue with the rest of the stuff we got in the show. And it's a little early for goals, but what are the team goals?
Well, and I was talking to him earlier. The ultimate team goal is, we want to go and we want to be able to host that trophy at the end of the year in December and be recognized as the 6A state champ. And then, so that means every goal there falls in line. You want to win conference. You want to win Pitt County. That means beating South Central and beating D.H. Conley. You want to be able to win your non-conference game, go undefeated in them, go 5-0, be over 500. You want to have home field advantage throughout the playoffs with them 4 games. So, you got all that. But then on top of that, you want to also be a little bit realistic. You don't have to reach some of them goals to be a state champion. You want to be able to peak at the right time to get to that state championship. So, if you can do all that and be able to, when you get in the playoff, peak at that right moment to continue that winning success, and then the end to be a state champion, then you have reached that goal, and then nobody can take that from you.
That's a good point. I know last year was like a lot of teams after like 3 games, you would thought they won a national championship, and then the season turned totally different.
Boy, you boy. I know you too much. Like, go ahead, Jabril.
How do you feel about homecoming? I know like schedules can be what you. How do you feel about, first of all, who you host for your homecoming, and second of all, who brings you in for their homecoming? Do you have any type feelings?
You know, as a player, you used to be like, man, I don't know why they schedule for homecoming. But you know, and I have got on this side. It's all about how your schedule falls. Because last year, so you know, we had homecoming against South Central, but we only had 4 home games last year. We had 6 away, 4 home games. Now this year we got 6 home games, so you know we were able to spread it out, put homecoming on a game that we wanted to have it on. I think we playing. I want to say either it's New Bern.
Oh.
I think it's New Bern. Or it might be White Oak. One of them we playing on homecoming, and then we have Hall of Fame weekend. You know, senior night will be D.H. Conley.
Okay.
You know, you got South Central is always a big gate game for us. We go to South Central, so we don't have to worry about them. So. You know, it's all about how the schedule falls, and I'm just glad we got 6 home games and I ain't got to travel that much.
Let me ask you this. Personally, do you look at anybody really as a rival? Personally yourself?
Personally myself, no, I look at everybody as an opportunity to grow.
Yeah, okay.
As an opportunity for your team to grow, you know. But, you know, nowadays that, you know, again, Rose and Conley, they've been historically rivals, you know, that's the rivalry, and that's what the kids feed off of. Hey, you know, these are the kids that grew up, they might have went to the same elementary and middle school, but now they separated. Now, hey, now I'm competing against you, so how good are we? Is my team better than yours? Your team better than me? But rivalry, I think, is for us is that, hey, how good can we get? Can we be better than that team that we're playing against? Not a rivalry aspect of it.
Right.
But, you know, hey, are we better than that team? Now, some teams are traditionally good, but that's where we want to be. Hey, we want to be just as good as they are. And if you can, if you can get a victory from loss and staying close, you can. But, you know, rivalries, it's for the kids, basically.
Right.
Coaches are just out here just coaching and just enjoying it.
For the fans, too. It's for the fans, too. The history's there. The history that you don't care about it because you're just looking to win. Whether it's Rose or whether against it's Farmville, you got the same game plan. But the tradition there, this definitely carries the banter. Trust me, I'm in it.
I use it like Havelock and Newburgh. You know, hey.
Yeah.
Back in the day, hey, that's our rival. You know, we got to go in there. We got to do what we got to do to be New Bern.
And New Bern was loaded then.
Yes, it was.
Let me ask you this question too. Like surrounding states like South Carolina, Georgia, Texas, Florida, where you got football coaches making 6 figures, don't have to teach. Would you like to have some of that?
You know, I would. It would help out with the quality of life.
Right.
But, you know, I wouldn't change it where I'm at for the world because I enjoyed these kids. I enjoyed teaching. You know, down here, you know, up there is a business. You know, Texas.
That's also a different kind of pressure.
Yeah, it's a pressure. You better win. You're gonna get fired. But you know, down here, you know, I don't get paid a lot, and you know I do this because I love being out there with them guys. I love seeing them guys smile, and I love telling them guys that hey, I love you, no matter what you do, and then them coming back and always reaching out, hey coach, can we go lift weights? And hey coach, you know. The best part is remembering when we played this game or when you came, but you gave me a big hug or, you know, beating the college. So that's some of the best moments that you can get. And, you know, it's not always about the money. I wish it would be, but, you know.
I always say, for you a good coach around here, you get paid 1 cent an hour.
That's it. Always busy.
All right, moving on. On the New Bern serve, Quan Collins. You remember middle linebacker tackle?
Yeah.
That was my college roommate. Man. Yeah, the running back. Yeah, yes, sir. All right, now I got something new for you guys. I haven't announced this. I just decided to throw it up here because it's something we're going to do for the next 10 weeks on this show every Monday is talk about the upcoming season. I have the East of I-95 Summer Series. Here's the schedule for you. Week 1, we're going top 10 quarterbacks. Then we're going running backs, wide receivers, O-line, pass rushers, tacklers, defensive backs, athletes. Week 9, we're going top 50 players. And then week 10, we're going top 25 teams. Let me take that off. And that starts right now. Let's pull up the quarterback, coach. Your guy made the list. Let's pull up the quarterbacks I got, starting at number 10, Devon Mayo from Southwest Edgecombe, Tahari Johnson from New Hanover, Tanner Williams, NC State baseball commit from Midway, Josh Setner, 3-year starters at Green Central, Miles McCallop at Clinton, Chase Davis at J.H. Rose, Cannon McBride from Croatan, Sam Finch from Fike, Zach Eastman from Northeastern kicking ball, and Matthew Bourne from Hoggard. I tried to hit them all up and down the North Carolina 95. Coach, let's talk about your guy, Chase Davis. He's got a new receiver coming in. He's got a receiver that was in the top in the state coming in, but going to be even better this year. He's got 2 good running backs. He's got other pieces around him. What do you expect from Chase Davis this season?
Well, I expect Chase to – I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. And the fact that – and if you don't know Chase, is how he demands the offense. I mean, the kids love – we call him Little Tom Brady because he's able to stay cool no matter what, rattles him, put the ball where it needs to be able to get the guys lined up in the correct position. I think he knows all the plays. I can go out there and call the wrong play. He puts guys where they need to go. He can tell me about it later. And I'm like, well, you knew the play then. Why you don't come tell me about it? But I think he's going to have a great year. I know he's number 5 down there. And like I said, that dude, he had split time a lot last year. But I think he's going to be one where he's going to have a lot of people eyeing him and trying to see what makes him tick and try to get them to play him in their program at the next level. And he's just always out there working on Sunday, Saturday with his guys. So I think we're going to expect big things, not to knock anybody out. I know I seen Northeastern quarterback play, and he's a baller. Cortan guy did a great job last year, but I think our guys are ready to step into that role of being the guy here at Jays Road with all the pressure on and be able to deliver for us and take us to where we need to go.
Hey, look, quick question. Early in the year, say if you're having a blowout, do you try to get your backup in? Because there's a lot of expectations this year. And you don't want, like, say, an injury to derail everything. So do you try to get some highway miles for your backup?
Yeah, but he can get them on that 4th quarter, though. So.
Wait, so on the running clock?
Yeah, on the running clock. He get them there.
One more thing before I move on. That was a good one. Are you still having the 7-on-7? I know you've had it, the big tournament for the past 2 years. Might have been longer than that, but that's all I know of. Are you having that every year? How long has it been going?
So it's a Marvin Jarman tournament.
Okay.
At the late Marvin Jarman, Marvin been the famous our guy at Rose ever since the nick of time. He passed away a couple years ago, so we would just want to be able to honor him. So it's a 4th annual one. So we're going to have teams like Bertie, New Bern, Havelock supposed to come. South Central will be in it. I think West Craven with their new head coach is supposed to be coming down to play.
Coming back?
Kinston coming,
Okay.
Geezer, that's one of my longtime friends. He does a great job. He comes in.
He does a great job.
So he's coming to participate in that. So it should be a fun day, like it always is. We're going to make sure we feed the kids. We're going to have some entertainment out there. We have food trucks, some of the icy stuff, so we can make sure we're cool. But it's going to start around 5 o'clock, and then it should end around maybe 9:30, 10. So it's a fun time where you can go out there and see some of the great players in the Eastern North Carolina compete, and then just see what the season is going to hold for everybody.
Good deal. All right, let's move on to our next segment. We've talked a lot of football. This next segment is brought to you by Kristen Goyette with Success Mortgage Partners. Thank you, Kristen. This is our WNBA segment for this week, and I got a question for you. Most importantly, my guy, Sir Prell, should Kennedy Carter be starting? Let's look at the numbers before I let you answer. Okay, I'm going to pull it up right now. In her first 3 games, she went 10 points, 22, 27, 18, 20, 23, then 14 and 6 as the minutes decrease. I'm going to let that stay up there so you can see it a little bit longer. But I'm going to tell you this. She's averaging 17.5 points per game. She is shooting at a 65% rate, shooting 58% from the three-point line. She's top 12 in the league in scoring. Before last night, before she only got 6 minutes, she had around 7 or 8. When do the Aces start Kennedy Carter? That should be the question.
I feel like this. They coming off a championship one. You can't just go by numbers. You got to go by chemistry. And just like with Vinnie Johnson back in the day with Detroit Pistons, sometimes you put numbers against the second string of the other team that's not going to equate to starting. You know what I'm saying? So you could put her in a position where you think she's going to be this, but she's not going to be that. And like I said, they were the defending champs. They didn't really lose anybody from the team. So, and like I said, it's a lot of things that play into that trust, other people's psyche. So that's the thing that people don't understand about coaches, like the psyche of other players. They could throw her in there, and you could lose the person who was starting for the rest of the year. You know, and she's just coming in. So basically, like, you know, I would say every season is a new season, but can you trust her? For one, you know what I'm saying? But the numbers don't lie, but if she's going to get those numbers, and you can come off the bench and get starters minutes. So I feel like I said,
it's hard for me. I brought this up because it's hard for me to understand.
Right.
She's 12th in the league after being 7th or 8th in the league. She's second on her team by a mile. And to me, she's I'm going to throw it out. She's one of the best shooting guards in the league. She's superior athleticism. She's shooting over almost 60% from the three-point line. She can guard. She rebounds. There's got to be something going on that we don't know about. It has to be something locker room-wise we don't go about. Hold on, let me ask Coach Bland this. Coach, I know you're a football coach, but you're a basketball guy, okay? And you're 10 games in, and your second leading scorer is coming off the bench. At what point do you start like, well, maybe I need my best 5 out there? Or do you roll with how it's working?
What's the record?
They're around 4-2, 5-2. I don't know that off top. Matter of fact, I'll pull it up right now. Yeah, they're winning.
She's doing her thing to keep
exactly.
Now, I can see if they start losing.
Yeah, now that's different.
That's different.
5-3.
Yeah.
Now they lose 2 more games. Now we got to change the
Yeah. And I'm telling you, the WNBA, I mean, you had this discussion a couple weeks ago, Trey. The WNBA is not a guard star league, so it ain't like she really being checked by no dogs in the backcourt. And if she can produce those,
Because she's the dog. She's the dog.
what if she's producing? What is your ego to say I need to start? If she's getting 20-some points at the minute she's playing, what do you want? 30-some points and her name called out with the lights out? Think about it.
Man, let's start Kennedy Carter. Hey, let's start. This is the W. I don't care. She's getting in the lineup. This is the WNBA. This is the best of the best.
I'm gonna tell you this: if you start her, Asia's getting most of the shots while she's gonna be on the court. Then the other girl gets shot. So she's not gonna get as many shots.
Well, I understand that you saying that she can get the minutes, the starter minutes, but like when it comes, if you're watching the games, which I know you watch the games, if you're watching the games, when it comes to the last 3 minutes of the game, she'll dominate the whole game. Right. She'll go 8 for 13 or 8 for 12, and she's getting buckets all over the place. Last 3 minutes of the game, she's not getting no touches. I'm gonna put it out there. I feel like there's just a little bit of I need to get mine too. I need to get mine too from the starter, because everybody know the Vegas has all the key starters.
And that's what I'm saying.
They got
If she started, I'm looking like this in the first quarter. If she probably would start, she'll be lucky to get 2 shots, because you got to get your dog going. You got to get Asia going. You got Gray and the other girl. So she's not gonna get that many shots. When they go to the bench, she basically got half a whole quarter to herself that she can take every single shot she wants, because they don't have another scorer with that second unit.
Here's an example. Jewel Lloyd is averaging 7 points per game, but averaging 28 minutes per game. Kennedy Carter is averaging 18. Time to start the girl. It's time to start. Hey, look, I understand what you're saying. No, we good. I get it. But
You'll see the litmus test when they play against Indiana.
Hey, Indiana versus Atlanta Dream Thursday. Hey, Reese versus Caitlin Clark versus Reese Thursday is going down.
I think, like I said, early in the year, like I say, it's a trust factor. You got veterans and stuff. On most any other team, I would agree with you, but on the team that just won the championship, you bringing all your pieces back. You just play it out. And the season's young. She could end up being starting, but right now you just play it like this. Everything's selling smooth.
Very fair. Let's get into our mailbox, our fan mailbox. If you're not a Neuse Sports Insider, you should be. For $1.99 a month, you get in our group Insider, and you get all the information. Like, I dropped this top 10 2 days ago, and you didn't even know about it. It was in our group. It's already been dropped. And it's going to be like that with all the other positions, running backs, wide receivers, and on. Well, drop it early. I dropped the Gavin Brock to Kinston High. I dropped that a whole day early before it even announced. So for $1.99, you can become a Neuse Sports Insider. And with that, I go to our group and ask them to ask our guest, co-host, and myself questions to answer. And for our first one, from Mike Anderson, do you think the open transfer policy in places like Pitt County and Lenoir hurt smaller communities like GC where you have to pay to cross county, lines? So, Prel, you're the expert on transfer portal. What you got?
I look at transfer portal just like your wife.
Oh, leave my wife out of like somebody's wife. Whoa.
Take care of her, give her attention, let her grow, nurture her. You know what I'm saying? Be stern when you need to be stern with her or whatever. Then I think it's going to work out. A lot of times people get in their feelings when kids leave. I always say like this, it's 50-50, the coach and the player. If he's doing everything he's going to do, he's going to make whatever he wants to contribute. The coach is going to make what he wants to do. But the coach is going to come back in high school. So a lot of these coaches really are kind of lazy, keeping it a buck. And the players got aspirations of playing on the next level. And you got some kids playing with a 60 that their goal is state championship. So I look at it just like that with different players. And when you looking at a kid, of course you're going to be in your feelings, but like I said, if a kid going to somewhere to work hard, I got to look at myself. You know what I'm saying? Because football is football where he's at. If he's dominating, if you staying in his ear year-round, if you helping him get to camps, you got to push their aspirations. I always tell my kids like a track, even I can't go with you, but I'm going to make sure you get on the stage that you're supposed to get on. You know, if I got to raise money, this or that. So when the kid goes somewhere, it's just like if you run in the ball all the time, he need to get some pass blocking. So go to a team that pass. You know, don't take it personal. Mm-hmm. It's every 3 years these kids going to cycle in and out. Don't get emotional attached because it's going to be a new kid come along, whatever. But do your best job with your kids while you have them. I always feel like this with travel kids leave me track. I always feel like I never feel bad because I feel like they leave me, they're going down. You know, they're getting less coaching, they this, that. But I always tell people, do stuff the right way when you do it. It's just like a job. If you give a 2-week notice, there might be a chance you come back. If you do something the wrong way, hey, I could care less about you. And I'm not going to lose no sleep over it.
Here's my opinion on it. And everything you said I agree with. I just have a different perspective from it is, my perspective, I don't care. What the coaches do is what the coaches do. What the programs do. NCSHAA just needs to get everything lined up all together and just get everything sanctionalized how it's supposed to be. Everybody should have the same rules, and I'm not making that as an excuse. Because I'm going towards the charter school avenue part of it.
Right.
I wrote an article on that. Y'all know how I feel. Charter schools shouldn't be involved in public schools when you have two different systems of how you recruit. Right. Public schools technically can't recruit, and charter schools can. Their area, their map, their expansions for players is bigger. That's my only thing is just make the rules across the board like they're supposed to be. And if you're a charter school, you might not like this from me. I think you should be in your own classification, your own program, and we'll figure it out from there.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. As far as I'm not saying they're doing. I'm just saying like a Wilson Prep, where you sitting right in the middle of a bunch of talent from schools where it's close enough for kids to get to. But on the flip side too, this is the thing I have like, as far as your education, what you're doing with these kids. Like I know a lot of the kids who are playing, and they're not going to do nothing else. And these kids being part of organizations since they were 9 years old, getting used by grown-ups. That's something I refuse to do. Then after 12th grade, they're in the streets. They've been part of a team. Now the team is the gang, it's negativity. There's more athletes in jail than we got going to college.
And I tip my hat to the charter schools in football. It's hard to put together a charter school 48-man roster compared to the Charlotte charter school basketball teams where you only need 6, 7-footers, and they're playing in the 1A. That's my biggest gripe is you take these charter schools who's got 7 kids on your teams that's over 6'5", and they're playing in 1A. I mean, I know we're getting off the subject a little bit, but I mean, there's a lot wrong where I think the NCHSAA should just make everything very clear, very pinpoint. This is what we can do. This is what you can't. This is where you're at.
And you think about it, kind of starts at the top with college. It's like if somebody does something and they won't bring a lawsuit or something, then you're scared and people are just really too lazy. Now Pitt County, for the things out here, if it's somewhere somebody do a wrong transfer, they're going to bring the gun smoking to stop the transfer. You know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff like around here basically is like change your address or this and that. But, I mean, they're kids. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if you feel at the end of the day you do what you do and whatever. Hey, I never what you call with a kid. Like that's gonna make me coach harder. Like when I see that joke, hey, do him.
We got one more question. I didn't ever brought up who sponsors this segment. El Nuevo San Juan Restaurant is sponsoring this segment. We got one more question, and it is from my boss. He don't like me to call him boss, but it's okay. He threw one in there. Did SGA's flopping change your opinion of him as the league's most valuable player? I'm gonna start with this one. Absolutely. Hey, look, you're very good. There's no doubt. You're very, 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 very good. You can get to your spots. You know how to. I listen to SGA talk. He knows how to go to the basket at angles. He uses angles to get open. He's very crafty. But at some point, you just got to play basketball. Like they did a percentage on the Western Conference Finals where he fell on like 80% of his shots. That's just at some point that gets very cringy, and it takes away how good you are because you're searching for help when you don't need it. SGA is the man. And that's no disrespect to him. It's more respect to his game as how good he is. He don't need to flop. To me, he's taken away from his star power. He's turned into a flopper, and it is known, and it's no disrespect because everybody says it. What you got?
I look at it. You probably had like 3 or 4 players who done something kind of game changing and they tighten up on the rules later. Say like James Harden stepping back 3 steps to shoot. You know, so Iverson's crossover when they took that away from him.
The Jordan rules.
Yeah, when they said carry the Jordan rules and stuff. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I look at him. I mean, if he's flopping. Like, play him tough and don't foul him.
Bro, you ain't watching. They're not fouling him. Look, my man jumped up and turned sideways to shoot to hit somebody.
Something like that. You need to put the commissioner right on television and the head of official things, and like even the league, and like, yo, y'all got to look at this mess. And if they're not doing nothing about it, it's got to be semi within the rules. There's a lot of stuff in the NBA that you would not teach a high school kid, a middle school, whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? And it's a whole bunch of it. That's why I always, even before like the frequent wave of the WNBA, if you want to teach a kid basketball, look at women's basketball. It's the purest form of basketball for as passing, cutting, doing this and that. Now you got a lot of women starting to dunk now though. So that's gonna take out of it. But yeah, it is, to me it is ugly. I ain't even gonna lie, just seeing him doing this. I mean, he's a talented guy. And like I said, you're gonna keep on falling, you're gonna fall and tear something up. You can tell anything what's called, but yeah, I think it takes away from it, but at the end of the day, hey, you winning.
There you go. He just lost. I'm just messing with you. Coach, that's all I got. Thank you for coming, man. Is there a message for JH community about football this year?
Well, first, let me give a shout out to my wife back at home with our
Amen.
3 kids. Reagan, James, and my 2-month Oliver. Wouldn't be able to do this without her. So, and then for the community and the fans, I think this is going to be a great year. I think continue to do what y'all do. Come out there, support us. You know, y'all been good to me since I've been the head coach, and I look forward to keep working at it and getting back to where we need to be for the glory. So, again, I'm excited about the season. Y'all should too, and make sure y'all go get you some gear.
Hey, Coach, let me tell you something. I'm not going to say no names, Coach, but there's a team at Pitt County that feel like they're ready for you this year. It was a mile gap in the game last year, but this year, it's some talking going on in the street, Coach. So I'm just giving you a heads up, Coach. You better be on your A game, brother.
And we can bring that out. Other team, you know, we're always gonna be prepared. You know, so hopefully, you know, they get prepared for us as well. But like I said, we're gonna have a good year. I think we're gonna, I'm sure, especially the state of North Carolina, how good we are, and if we can bring up somebody else team, we're more than welcome.
So you coming through the front?
Yeah,
you ain't coming through the back, right?
We're gonna. Yeah, you're right. But you know, I get along with all the guys out here. I respect all the coaches and stuff. And you know, at the end of the day, this is our profession. We got to make sure that we support one another out here as coaches and stuff. And then, you know, let the kids do the game on the field, and at the end of the day, the best man win, and we'll move on to the next game.
Coach, I have one more quick question. How do you feel about a coach's show at, let's say, like Sunday morning, and they're really breaking down the game, what happened on Friday. How do you feel about something like that?
You gonna host it?
If I host it, will you come?
I might.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, let me talk to my agent, Mr. Scott.
Nah, I think that's pretty neat. I mean, like it'd be something new to get the coaches insight on how the game went and stuff. It'd be So
Good deal, good deal. Once again, thanks to all of our sponsors. Thanks to TieBreakers for being our title sponsor. Most importantly, thank you, Coach, for coming. We're pulling for you. We're pulling for you. We're not covering Pitt County yet, but you, as a business and as a fan, can make that happen. I'm just throwing it out there. Hey, we don't do stuff for free. We don't do stuff for free. We would love to give Pitt County more coverage. But I sincerely mean that, Coach. Good luck to you. Grind. I know what the grind's like. Go get you one.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
No problem. Good deal. This is Trey Scott, episode 2. It's a wrap.